Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Carolien and this is Bings and this is episode 188. You can find me online everywhere as Kralalien, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, Ko-Fi, Ravelry. I think we've got most now. And I have a web shop, colourfulcreativity.nl or colourfulcreativity.com, and it is open again. So, hi, welcome back everyone, or welcome to all new viewers. I think there are a few, so welcome here. I hope you like it and stick around. I think it's time for a tiny new introduction. My name is Carolien. I live in the Netherlands near the border with Germany, in Enschede, and I am an indie dyer. I have two cats. This is Binks. They are Cornish Rex cats. Liza is a bit less camera cat. Binks always comes running when I start recording, so he is often here. I live alone. My husband passed away almost 11 months ago, and yeah, this is my little corner on the internet where I show you everything I have made, crafted, all the different things that I do, knitting, spinning, crochet sometimes, embroidery sometimes, so yeah. And of course I dye yarn, so I occasionally show that as well. And I also make glass beads, and these are on this rack, and I will tell you more about that later. We are gonna start with finished objects, just like a regular scheduled podcast. Just with one hand, and a bit more difficult with a cat on my lap. I have a finished object because after all those whips, what did you think I would do? Did I pick up my whips or go for a new project? The answer was both. I did pick up my whips. I will show you that in a sec. And then there was a test knit I couldn't say no to. It was this cute pride bandana, which is called Born This Way bandana. And the pattern is by Carissa Browning, who I've had the pleasure to meet in person now. Already in March at the H&H and now also at the Craft Circle, which I will tell more about later as well. So yeah, these were all smooth sock minis and scraps. My smooth sock minis are called Kittens, and except for the brown and black one, they are all in the shop. Maybe not the white one as well, but they are coming for sure. I am still working on the shop. The shop is open and it is all okay and running and definitely selling stuff, but I had some new things that need to be photographed and I didn't have time for that yet because I've had so many orders and I've been just packing up orders and shipping, which is absolutely fine. But being a one-woman show, that's basically all I could do with my time and energy. Yeah, I was waiting for this. He is a little string chewer, so let's not give him that. This was a really quick and fun knit. It also comes in a crochet pattern, and you can wear it like this. You can put it on your head like that. I am not the person who wears that, but what I did was use it as bunting in my stall at the Craft Circle, just to show people were welcome. And yeah, I really liked having it for that, and I will keep using it for every other yarn show I am vending at. Then, work in progress. The work in progress that I picked from my big whip pile is in this bag. So some of you might already know, but I don't blame you if you haven't remembered. In here I have the Fishtail braid socks, and this first sock was already finished, and the pattern is by, let me see, Sabrina Nesslinger. Here you go. Fishtail braid socks. And the yarn I am using is Spingodin. Her sock base, was it? Yeah, it's the sock base in bijeneter. And this is my absolute favorite color of them. And I have cast on the second sock. There is another needle in here, which I don't know why. It is a 2.5 mil. Let's put it aside. This is also a 2.5 mil. Oh, this is a 100 centimeters, and I wanted to switch it to an 80 centimeters on the next round, which is this one. 100 is just a bit too long for one sock. 100 is great for doing 2 at a time socks. But yeah, I've only just started a pattern, so I've done the cuff and 1 fishtail braid. So this has some ways to go still, and I will do that all in due time, because there's other things needing my attention. I might steal that 80 centimeter out of here soon. Now I know that I have one in there. Another new cast on is in this project bag, because for the craft circle I dyed a lot of Nerd in the Attic yarn for my fundraiser, which I'll also tell you more later. Goodness, I have a lot of things to remember to tell you with a head like a sieve, so maybe I should just start now with telling you that. I have a fundraiser going in honor of my husband, my late husband, Robbert Müller, who passed away on July 13th last year. And last year at the craft circle was basically his last really good day. He helped me set up my market stall, and yeah, we had a really good day, and after that it all went downhill. A week after the craft circle we heard some really bad news, and we knew this is it. We thought we had a few days, but we got 6 more weeks. So I decided to start a fundraiser for the Wensambulance that got us a really nice day in those last 6 weeks to the monkey zoo. And I thought it would be nice to do a fundraiser for them, for more people to have a wish granted, because it doesn't cost you a thing, and that is amazing. And they are all volunteers, and I think they do a marvelous job. So what I did, I dyed up the colorway Nerd in the Attic, a colorway I dyed in 2020, full on COVID times when everyone had to work at home, and I suddenly had a nerd in my attic. He had a nice t-shirt that I used to dye this colorway from. So, and this is how it knits up. So this is basically a sample for my stall, and I wasn't able to finish it in time because I only have 2 hands and I had a lot of stuff to do. I don't have to do much more because I'm knitting a tiny size 37 sock, because I made a mistake. With the yarn, so there's a skein of yarn on either smooth sock or soft sock. You also get a candle, one hand dipped candle by my local candle maker. That is like a little light in the dark. So the set together costs 30 euros, and 5 euros of that go to the Wensambulance. But yeah, like I said, I thought I needed a sample of the yarn so people could see how it knits up. So here it is. the samples being knitted. I made a mistake of doing 64 stitches instead of 72 because I went down a needle size, a 2.25 millimeter instead of my regular 64 stitches. Usually I would knit these as shorties for myself or something, but now it's just going to be a proper sample sock because I don't think I'll ever retire this colorway now. So yeah, 64 stitches, 2.25 millimeter needles does not fit me. So yeah, what else can I say? The opening of the fundraiser was great. I had a donation box, I had a QR code for people to donate online, and I also had like the sets. And the first day we got a little over 300 euros. And then I started to do it online as well. You can find the set in my web shop. Also more donation options there. And yeah, we are currently at around 1,400 euros. So I am so grateful. It is absolutely amazing what is coming together there. What I learned is that they need about 500 euro for one wish, so it would be fab if we can make it at least 3, maybe even 4. My own goal was like 500 euros, but that was just selling the sets, and then people started asking, what if we don't want the yarn, but we do want to help? So I was like, okay, what do I do now? So I made all the other donation options, and yeah. It is definitely helping. So now the bar is at 2,000 euros. So let's just see how we get on. There's still time until July 13th. Basically, I'm gonna donate the money on that day in my husband's name on his first anniversary of his passing date. So gonna be interesting how much that is gonna be. And I might round it up, of course. We will see. Then another project I'm working on. If a woman would have invented a bra. Did a man invent a bra? I don't know. Maybe I'm saying something really stupid. In this cute squirrel bag by my friend, from my friend Angela of the Yarn and Yarn podcast. The bag is made by Ellen Woodcraft, the lovely Emma. And in here I have another new project, which is very matchy with me today. I signed up for the Supersock World Championship after all, and this is the qualifier. The qualifier came out about a week before the craft circle. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try. But I had to declutter my attic and tidy it so someone could sleep there. I had to declutter my house basically because someone had to sleep in my living room as well. And I had to find everything to take for the craft circle and put it in my studio, so I couldn't get in there anymore either. So yeah, that was a lot. And I had guests over for almost a week, so there was knitting time. But this is not really a chat and knit pattern. So, but it is really awesome. This is called the Multiplicity sock, or Multiplicity, by Amanda Stevens. She is Technicolor Mom on Instagram, and I think this is fantastic. It is really logical. It is different for options and such, so that makes it really cool as well. Let me see if I can show it to you like this. I really love it. These are like diamond squares with cables and lace, and They're just genius. A very interesting heel construction. And the gusset and everything, and it is awesome. I managed to finish the first stock, and that's basically it. So I did not officially qualify for the Supersock World Championship, but I did do a little sprint at the end. So on Friday I thought, okay, the 6th of June is the deadline and I won't be able to make it. That's what I thought on the 5th. So I went to bed, posted in my team, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna make it, I'm gonna give up. And they told me, but you have until Sunday, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was like, oh, I only have a foot to do. The foot is a bit easier, because you have like half of the diamonds only, and this is just broken rib. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try. So on Saturday, I just went for it, and yeah, I took this with me to a barbecue party, and we sat outside in the rain under a tent, and I knitted and I knitted and I knitted, and in the evening, I only had to do a toe. I was gonna go to bed because I was like, I have to read the pattern carefully, I have to do it to spec and everything according to the rules, etc. So I did that on Sunday morning, and I finished the toe, made photos, sent it in, because in Supersock World Championship you have a best effort as well. If you have a lot in your first round or qualification, you can just ask for a best effort and a second chance in the first round. I now have to put things under his blanket or he will annoy his sister. Which means I also get to have a little sip of tea, and I am showing you this new mug. It is from California, and no, I haven't been to California, since I usually only collect the mugs of places that I went to, but my wonderful friend and viewer here, Linda, sent this from her hometown, and I am really happy with it because it's really pretty. And I have some nice fresh mint tea in it. And I have to keep drinking because talking so much is not normal anymore for me. So I have to keep it a bit lubricated. This sock, so second chance, best effort, so which it is all racing, like car racing based. So I'm now in the grandstand, and I get the second chance to qualify in the first round. So then I have to knit a pair of socks within the given time, really do the pair and not just one, because if I don't make that, it's just over. So one sock done, second sock is cast on, and the first little diamond has started already. I'm knitting them on 2.5mm needles in the equivalent of the 64 stitch sock, which starts with 64 stitches, but it gets more and more and more the further you get, and then it gets less again. And then the yarn. I've decided to go with the yarn that is Deep Stash, and basically this color or something alike was on the front of the pattern, and the designer used something similar, and I was like, yes, I need to do that. This is Undercover Otter Squirm in the Screaming Satsuma colorway. Is it upside down? Yeah. Screaming Satsuma colorway. And this is my absolute favorite, and I've been hoarding it, and I have a sweater quantity and a single skein. So I was like, it's time. I need something nice for myself. I need something that feels nice. I need something that I love. I really love the pattern, so it deserves a yarn I love. And yeah, you know my color obsession currently is Screaming Satsuma and Obnoxious Coral, which is a colorway that does not photograph well. And this one blows up every time I try to photograph it. So, hi, here is editing Caroline, which I don't often do. It's very rare. But I completely forgot a work in progress, and now you can actually see Miss Liza for once. It is her cuddle time apparently, and she doesn't really notice that I'm on camera. In this Teen and Meat bag is a project that wasn't in here before. I picked up this one, and this is the V-neck Magpie by Skeinanigans. Someone is interested in all the things now. Let me find it, especially in my water, which is a no. She knows it. Where is it? Here it is. Mine is not this version, but the version with just a teeny tiny edge and shoulder thingies in that color, and a bit longer. There she goes. Probably can show you here. This is the version I am planning on knitting. Hello, focus. Goodness. Yes, there it is. Still a bit longer than that probably, and this has seen quite some progress because I had only just started the knitting in the round, and I am currently, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ridges in, and I need, according to this, 11 ridges. I'm thinking I might do 13 and then check. I have been putting it on, pulling it longer, just to see how I'm doing. But this is a nice summer top, and this is the first thing I took out together with those socks. Since those socks were easier to take with me, because this is a quite big project bag, and the socks fit easily in my backpack. Someone is complaining that I'm doing stuff in her time. I am using this yarn, which I got in a D-stash, and I will look up the label. It is Little Boo Yarns, and the colorway is called Surfer Dude, and this is Superwash Merino Nylon and Sparkle. I've got 2 of those, so more than enough. And this one, which is Araucania Botany Lace, some deep stash yarn that I've been wanting to use. It just has a number as a color, so not very interesting. Knitting this on very fat needles. Let me see. Where is it? There it is. It's very difficult to see because it's all off. This is 6.5 millimeter. So definitely a speedy knit, though I have to say I struggle with these heavy or these big needles. I'd rather hold a 2.5 or 3.5 than a 6.5. So this was put aside because, well, I had to make space in my living room. I had to focus on my samples, and yeah, completely forgot about it because it's been a few weeks that I've worked on it. You want to come back? Come. What's up? What's up? So yeah, that is it from me. Back to Caroline from the past. Those were the whips. That is everything I worked on. Tomorrow we should get the new pattern of the Supersock World Championship. So there will be a new cast on, which is okay. I might actually be able to finish this sample tonight if I focus on it. So yeah, that's good. Then we have acquisitions. So the thing that came in basically just after recording the last podcast, or the second part of the whips, is in here. I have bought a lot of lace yarn. I've got 6 balls of this Lana gatto, paillettes, gold lace with sequins, teeny tiny sequins. I've got 6 of these, and I plan to use it together with something for a nice sparkly top or sweater. This is 25 grams per ball, and it is 195 meters. So I hope that will be enough. It's about 1200 meters. And I bought this on Etsy from Nocturne Studio, and I think they are in Lithuania. And I also bought this there. In here I have Lithuanian linen lace. Together it looks like Christmas, I think, but separately it's just a really nice red for a linen top, a lace weight linen top. And this is a really nice pine green, which I also really like for a nice top. So I do have a pattern in mind, but I haven't really decided on it yet. And with the Supersock World Championship, I'm also not ready to cast on these, even though I want to, because knitting a summer top in summer would be smart. Should have started in spring, probably, and with lace yarn probably in winter. But there's always next summer, I hope. Then I got a really nice gift. I had a swap with my friend Liza, or Liza. I'm not sure what the Swedish pronunciation is, actually. Well, she's in Sweden, and she asked for stroopwafels. And I was like, of course, I would love some Swedish Marabou caramello chocolate. She delivered. I did not get only 2 bars. I had a box full of them. And also some caramello dots. I think they will be fantastic for baking. Also just for snacking. And that was not the only things she sent me, because she added extras. Thank you so much. This is a mini puzzle, which is in Swedish basically the same. And teeny tiny horses, and it has 99 pieces. I got a keychain, which is a Dala horse. Will it focus here, please? Thank you. Yes, it does. I also got this very nice knitting mix tape, which is a needle gauge. I think this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Then I got a hanging decoration, and it looks like this. It is so cute. And to top it all off, I got this cute little box which says Skumd, which is really nice because that is actually my local dialect, how we say foaming. So that is really funny, and look at that. It is held in place by an alien, and then it opens. Those details, I'm a sucker for those. This is 3D printed, I am guessing. And this is a grater. And in here is also a bit of soap. I think it's bloody brilliant. So you can just grate a bit of soap, put it in your water, and then wash your hand knits with. Love it. Thank you so much, Liza. Something else I got from my lovely friend Francesca, who stayed here and was one of my helpers at the craft circle. She stayed here together with Jen, who's also a friend of both of us, and they came all the way from the UK to help me and set up and do the day and break everything down again and get everything home. So absolutely fantastic, and be my emotional support, etc. But Francesca made me a teeny tiny emotional support chick in Nerdiniatic. Will you look at that, and will you fucking focus, stupid camera? Thank you. There you go. Isn't it cute? I mean, I'm a bit afraid of chickens, I will say that. So I don't have anything with those big emotional support chickens. I'm like, they freak me out. But this teeny tiny one also has a bit from the Little Birds of Happiness, and it's just really tiny and cute, like a little chickie, and that is fine. That I can handle. A big one, no. But this is just super cute, and it's in Nerdiniatic, so it's absolutely fantastic. It was sitting on my stall all day, so that was fab. She brought me lots from the UK: cookies, matcha tea, chips for the English people that are not in the UK. I mean, in Dutch they are called chips. In German, I think they're called chips. Just in the UK, they're called crisps. I mean, I think in the US they're called chips as well, I think. So yeah. What else? Oh, she brought 3 project bags she made for the fundraiser. So all the money I got from that went into the donation box, which was awesome. There was a really nice lady who had experience with her husband and the Wensambulance, and she got the biggest bag and was like, oh, I like this one. And she was really happy that I did that fundraiser, and we had a really nice chat. She was very emotional about it, so I got emotional about it, and it was good, really good. The next thing I got, I may have told you about meeting my friend Tara Swiger at the H&H in March. She is now working with 4 suit Tites, and she was there to promote it. And she sent me a sample pack. So here we go. These are magnetic sewing accessories. Like this one is a wearable magnetic holder. You can basically put it on your shirt or whatever you're wearing and have your scissors always with you, or your pins, and just easily, like if you're a seamstress, it's nice that you can walk around a customer and just grab it from there. And these are to hold things in place when you are sewing. I really like it to try, and they also added a sticker in my magnetic era. But as you already found out, Europe is not much on stickers, we're more on pins. Then we are already at my craft circle purchases. Yay. I put them in this bag already. I got 2 skeins of Nocturne, the Nocturne Studio, and this is Beltane on Vespertine, and longer term viewers know probably, or not, it might have come last year when I wasn't recording. I ordered a sweater quantity of this last year, being 3 skeins for a simple top. And then I saw a really nice top that was cabled and everything from Wool and Pine. It's one of their latest designs, and the name is gone. But 3 skeins wasn't enough. I needed a 4th, but just to have 1 skein from a different dye lot is iffy. So what did I do? I got 2. Now I have 5. And since it is a superwash merino and nylon blend, what I have left over I can always use for socks. So that is fine. At least I have a project for it now, which is nice. What I also bought is a full sweater quantity of Bijenator. I told you it was my favorite colorway of them. Let me just show you one. By Spingodin, and this is on the silky base. So this is 80% superwash merino wool and 20% mulberry silk, which makes it really nice and drapey. And will be for a basic tee, also by Wool and Pine, and also just recently released. And since this only has 365 meters and not 400, I needed like 4 skeins to have enough for my size. So yeah, definitely love it. And that was not the only thing I got at Spingodin, because she has started to draw and make some really nice cards. She had 3 different ones, and these are not made with AI. She hand draws them, and I think this cat card is lovely. Put the yarn back in its bag and show you my final purchase. Here it is. The Destination Doodles, the Dublin Doodle card deck. Come on, you can do it. I couldn't resist. I've been to Dublin 3 times with Robbert, so I had to get it. And it has 13 Dublin Doodle charts, Trinity College, Poolback Chimneys, Dublin Castle, 8penny Bridge, Temple Bar, Pen and Banners, Pint of Guinness, Irish Coffee, Celtic Knot, Celtic Harp, Leprechaun Hat, Pot of Gold, and Shamrocks. And yeah, I've basically been to all the places, so yeah, I love it. I bought this at the Wee Yarn Company, and they were also at the Craft Circle, so it was a very easy pickup. And that is all I have to show. I'm looking around if I see something I forgot, but no, that is all the acquisitions. I am thinking that next time will be a very short episode, because there's nothing on the way and I don't plan on buying anything. But that's basically what I say every fucking time. My yarn stash has grown again this year so far. I try to use more than I buy, which never worked. I can buy a lot faster than I use, and I spin, so that also adds meterage very easily. So yeah, I don't try to worry about it that much, but I do try to buy projects now. And you've seen I got linen tops and I've got the other tops, and I can actually make 4, 5 tops now. So that's good. Then, well, the shop is open again, so we are going into shop news. For those not interested in that, absolutely fine. We will say goodbye here. But for those sticking around, thank you. You can see this whole rack full of stitch markers and accessories. And there are quite some handmade glass stitch markers here that I will show you a few of. They are not on the website yet, because I need to photograph them all. And by photographing, I mean really one by one, which is a lot of work for just very little money. So I'm usually keeping these for just the markets, so people can just look at the whole thing and find the prettiest one for them. Yes, Binks is snoring. Here we have a plain white one. No, it's not plain white. It's really subtle pink. Streaky pink with that. Here we have a little satellite thing. So yeah, so many different styles, motifs, etc. But I have to photograph everything on this thing still, which is a lot of work. And I also found some yarn that I still have to photograph. I might also do a lucky dip. So just, I will pick one for you out of the bag. I'm still thinking about how I'm gonna do that. The yarn will be photographed, of course. I had some colorways that apparently never made it to the web shop. And I was pondering, why is this not selling? Well, if you don't put it out there, it doesn't sell. Same for colors of the 3D printed bobbins I have. I was like, weird. Those colors don't sell at all. Yeah. Those were new colors that I took last year to the craft circle and never uploaded. I still have to make the little sample cards for it, do the photography, etc, etc, etc. I also have to count out how much PLA I have of certain colors, so I know how much I can print still. I even have to find the files on Robert's laptop still, because that's where they are. I don't have them. I have to figure out if he has them on his new laptop, because his laptop died basically 2 months before Robert died, and he got a new laptop and put it all on there, but I don't know where it is on that new laptop, because it has Linux and not Windows, and I haven't worked with Linux that much. So, a little peek in the life of a widow. It is difficult, and it takes so much effort and so much energy, because there's so many things you come across that are not easy and take more energy and spoons than I have. So yeah, I told you about the fundraiser, which is going well. We are at 1,400 euros now. I hope we can make it to 2,000, so that would be fantastic. And for those who have already bought and donated, thank you so much. I have a link to my Ko-Fi. I have the web shop, the fundraiser set. I have a donation button on my web shop, and I have an open tikkie, which is a Dutch, I think only for Dutch people, maybe for Belgium. I'm not quite sure if they can also use that. If you use my web shop for a donation and you can pay with something else than PayPal, very kindly do, because PayPal takes a lot of fees. I am covering all the fees, so we have as big an amount as we can, but like I pay about 3.5 or 4% of fees on PayPal, so if you do a bigger donation, that tends to add up. So I'm basically donating about 50 to 100 euros myself on the whole thing, I'm guessing, with all the fees I have to pay. The only thing that doesn't have fees is the open tikkie. Everything else I pay a little extra on. But that's fine. I mean, it's for charity and it is a very good cause. So I'm happy to do that and cover those fees. Just want to ask to keep them as little as possible. The craft circle was amazing. There were about 600 people, and there was a new location. It was the ice rink. We have the covered one, the big one, near the stadium in Enschede. And it was big, it was light, it was bright, and it was open. And it was fantastic. It was very accessible. So yeah, really, really happy with how that went. I had good sales, nice conversations, nice customers, nice people, nice friends coming to visit me, and yeah, I'm really, really happy about it. At the end, I will put in a clip that my friend Francesca made. She walked around for me, videoing everything, because I couldn't get away from my stand and have enough time to do the whole walkthrough. So she did that for me, which will give you hopefully a nice impression. There are already dates for next year, which will be again the last weekend of May. Hopefully it won't be 32 degrees again and we will melt during setup. But if it is, it is. I mean, it's not the worst location. We are covered, we are not in the sun, and it's not super, super hot inside. But yeah, just like 25 degrees would be nice. Then you would actually be comfortable. What else do I have to tell you? I think that's basically it. There will be a shop update someday-ish, so I can put in the new colors and some of the stitch markers and stuff on there. There's also stitch stoppers that have not made it to the shop yet. Yeah, basically that's everything I wanted to tell you. Personal stuff, not really. I mean, what you see is what you get, and I tell you everything already. No more hospital update stuff. Yeah, well, next week is my mom's knee surgery, and I don't know when I will be recording again, because I do not know how much time I will have to knit and how much time I will have to record something. It might be, like I said, a really, really short episode next time. We'll see. We will see. I need to prioritize my mom's care here. Besides having my web shop open, I'm not gonna close it. I mean, I hope I can sleep in my own bed and keep the cats here. Otherwise, I will just move myself and the cats and stay at my mom's and take care of her there. But I hope that is not necessary. I mean, she has to get out of bed with her new knee and walk. So we'll see. If anyone has any experience with new knees, I would really like to hear that. I am very interested how it's gonna be, because once her first one has healed, she has to get the second one done as well. So it's gonna be a big, long process, and we'll see. Yeah, that is it from me this time. I hope to see you again next time, and until then, I hope you have some nice time for yourself and craft something you love to do. And I will see you again next time. Bye bye.